We've got a preview of the Monday night game. It's the Bears and Eagles, and last week we saw Philly start to look like that team a lot of people expected in the preseason after they had that great offseason. They killed the Cowboys. Now, is that something you expect to see now every week, or is it just kind of a one-time deal?
No, I think it's somewhere in between. They're a very talented club, obviously, Dan. We've seen their speed on offense. Defensively, they're making fewer mistakes. Penalties, offense not having as many turnovers. They're creating more on defense, taking better angles to the ball. This is all great. I just don't think we're going to see this week in and week out. You're going to see some outstanding performances, and you're going to see some that lack in a lot of categories.
And on the other side, the Bears have had their inconsistencies too. Mike Martz was really, I think, a little erratic in what he did with the offense in the first 7 games of the season. Will we see the Mike Martz who emphasizes the Bears' strengths and stays away from the weaknesses in the second half of the season? They're going to have to do it against Philadelphia. Or will we see him go back to getting pass happy and putting Jay Cutler in situations where he's going to be in danger of getting hurt?
He can't help himself, can he? He's going to get back to that at some point.
Right, you just can't expect him to stick with the run as long as, you know, it's killing him, especially that it's working. He keeps going to it. Now, that Eagles offense looked awesome, and all the weapons they have, the team speed they have. You know, the Bears defense always been a strength in years past. This year looked a little old, a little step slow maybe. Can they hang with that Philly offense, Dan?
Well, I think if you look in the past, the matchups against the Eagles and against Michael Vick, Bears defense has fared pretty well. Cover 2, I think, matches up well against what the Eagles try to do. Get the ball down the field with big pass plays. I think Michael Vick could find himself a little bit constrained with Julius Peppers and Israel Donahue containing on the edges, and it'll force him to settle for shorter check down type of throws. And eventually, maybe Michael Vick will make a mistake. That's what the Bears are going to hope.
Yeah, the other benefit of the zone is that all eyes are on Michael Vick. They're looking into the backfield for defensively, and they'll hem him in on some of those run plays as well. But, again, that team speed, I think it's going to be a huge issue. Philly does have an edge there.
Yeah, I mean, when they get going, it's tough to stop, especially Shady McCoy. So will that offense get going again? What do you think? Do they get the win?
I think they do in close fashion. I think, you know, they're a little bit better team than the Bears. They've got this 2-game momentum now. They look better, and I say they beat the Bears by a touchdown.
This is one of the few times I think we're going to disagree in one of these previews this season. And I'm going to go with the Bears. I think that I'm also a little bit concerned about how their safeties are going to fare to young guys in Major Wright and Chris Conte, but I do think they will end up stepping up and having a pretty good game. The Bears are going to do the things they do well and end up with a narrow victory.
I think it should be a good indication of what this Eagles team is. If they can start to put it together, maybe they get a roll. If not, it'll just be a year of inconsistency. That's a look at the Monday night game. For the best coverage of the NFL, check us out at ProFootballWeekly.com.